What's going on, players, haters, and mama makers? It's your least favorite duels here, back with another video. Today is some crazy news. We got another ban list coming up again. I think we just had one well, it was just the changes to abilities, which I didn't even cover, but we can do that if you so choose. So let's do the skill. Let's just do the card changes first, and then we'll do the skills that already happened because it's a little bit older. But here's the new stuff right here. So Invoked is getting a big hit. One of the most oppressive decks that's out right now, which is pretty cool. You know, I didn't really find an issue with Invoked. They were kind of like an OTK deck. I always thought like Dark Lords and Six Samurai were way more oppressive because I usually play to counter Invoked since it's so common. And I mean, I guess the changes are cool. So, Invoked Cocytus is going to 1. Okay, so this card is pretty beastly. It attacks from defense. It's got a fat booty of 2,900. You boost this thing up. It's immune to stuff like Wall of D, Drowning Mirror Force, like a bunch of stuff. It's very immune to. It can't be targeted. You know, it can't be destroyed by card effects. It's a pretty ugly card. So that's going to 1, which is pretty good change. Like I said before, I play a lot of Buster Bladers, so this card was never an issue to me. So that's the limited to 1. Semi-limited, we got a bunch of them. So we got Invoked Big Rock. So Big Rock is going down to 2. This is another OTK guy right here. He was more annoying to me just because when people would use Invocation on me, they would like banish my Buster Blader out of the graveyard a lot of times. So pretty annoying, but I mean, it's a good change. Now they'll have to decide whether to use like Treacherous Trap Hole or Enemy Controller and stuff like that over this, or like a mix, or Hatronade. Like it's a good change for the Rock. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Raikiri is also going down to 2. This card, pretty annoying. Black Wings are not really going to get affected by this because usually they only run 1 to 2 of these anyways, so limiting it to 2 is not an issue. They don't have enough room in the extra deck to run 3. And even if you did, like, I don't think running 3 is a good idea. There's so many other good options besides that. Kiteroid is getting knocked down to 2 in semi-limited. There's only two available right now. So like that annoying Roid Invoke deck just got shot to death with these bans, which is awesome. On a sad note though, I was using Kiteroid with like World Legacy Clash in a lot of decks, so that's not going to be possible anymore since World Legacy Clash is set down to semi-limited as well. So you can't play as defensive anymore, only pretty defensive with Kiteroid. So this was a due change no matter what. Kiteroid is super powerful. Yeah, there's nothing to be said. It's a really good card. And then Concentrating Current is also getting limited. So these are all just hits to Invoked. You know, they were playing a very ugly OTK deck where they would like Concentrating Current on you with like Alistair and on their Big Rock and then give you the Rock Bottom. So you're not going to get Rock Bottom as often anymore, which is cool. Which leaves other decks open to play. You know, it's not just going to be all about countering Invoked. Black Wings are going to probably still be, they'll probably be a little bit more seen after the changes, just because they're not really getting hit. Okay, and then we're also getting Iron Core semi-limited, which tells me, because this is going to limited and Diamond Core is getting taken off, which is really ugly because Diamond Core is by far the better card. So maybe we'll see a return of the evil Kokaimirus again. What's no longer on the list? So Diamond Core is getting taken off, like I said, and which is ugly, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I might play some Kokaimira. I never played it before. I have like a lot of the pieces though, So maybe I'll start playing it after the ban goes through. You know, I have three golden cores or diamond cores or whatever. So maybe that's a thing. And then Spellbook of Eternity is getting taken off the list, which is, I don't know how to feel about that. Spellbooks aren't like super powerful, like, because I do play Buster Blader and it does counter spellbooks pretty good with just DNA surgery alone. So I don't see this as an issue. Spellbooks aren't like insanely powerful. There's not like they're a really good deck, but I don't look at them as very oppressive. So it's good that they're coming back. I do like that deck. It's cool to like feel like Harry Potter and just, you know, Expelliarmus, if I'm saying that, Leviosa people. But yeah, like it's all right. It's not an awful change. Okay, so then we'll go to the skill rebalancing real quick. I didn't really cover it, so this already happened. But Kaiba Court Bling, Duel Standby, One Card Wonder, and Reinforcements, Silent Duelist, Miracle Fusion Time, and Respect My Authority all got changed. So Duel Standby, One Card Wonder, and Kaiba Court Bling all got nerfed. Kaiba Court Bling was like long overdue, so it's like a spammable Destiny draw. So what happened with that one is that instead of you drawing a Glossy or Prismatic every time you lost 2,000 life, it you would get a Glossy or Prismatic from your deck, and that was not once per duel. Now it's once per duel, and they added like a nice little side thing where when you play Glossy and Prismatics, the multiplier is up by 1.5, which is cool for like farm decks. I think that's nice to have a skill just for farming. That's pretty handy. Duel Standby, if you haven't run into a Mono Iwado lockdown, pretty oppressive with Duel Standby. It would pretty much not let you play the game. So what happened to that? It was instead of I think it was like you would increase your starting hand by 1, and then monster effects would not activate on your turn, your first turn. So you could put out a Mono Iwado and it would not go back to your hand, and then it would negate all monster effects while it's on the field. And then they would just play defensively, keep a Mono Iwado alive, and just lock you out of the duel. So same thing. I never found that deck very oppressive either, just because Buster Blader. I'm not saying Buster Blader is like the one win-all deck. That's just what I like. I think it has a lot of very good matchups with like the right hand. You can get around a lot of things. So One Card Wonder. I am very familiar with the One Card Wonder deck because it was just a stall deck that just burns you to death, and it was really mean. So what you would do is just have like 3 lava golems and a bunch of just like Celtic Guardians and stuff like that, just to stall the game and burn your opponent. And since you were drawing 2 cards every turn, you can just keep playing trap cards over and over and over and just burn and win easy. So that's getting changed a little bit. So this one needs to be activated if you control just dark monsters in the deck. So you can still run Lava Golem, and I think there's a couple other stally dark monsters. Decider comes to my mind. So you could probably run like Lava Golem, Decider. This deck is not dead. The One Card Wonder stall is still alive. Reinforcements, Silent Duelist, Miracle Fusion Time, and Respect My Authority all got buffs. So Reinforcements went from 1800 life decrease to 1500. So you can return 1 card from your hand to the deck and draw a random warrior, which is nice. So it's not on draw, it's on just whenever. So that's a really handy thing to do. I think it's a little bit weaker when you have to draw it on your next turn. So this gives you an opportunity to just pretty much swap out a card that you don't really want. It's a semi-buff to like, if you are playing Lavels, if you ever played that deck, it's pretty old, but it's a little buff to Lavels. Silent Duelist got buffed, so I think the only change with this one was you can also grab Silent Swordsman 3 from your deck and Silent Magician. So like A little buff right there, not bad. And then Miracle Fusion time, I think it was 2,000 life you would lose. Now it's only 1,000. And now you can add a Miracle Fusion from outside your deck to your hand. The only issue that I see with this one is that you have to draw it and you can't swap it out. So it's still kind of crappy, but I mean, it is pretty good for heroes. It's not a bad skill. And then Respect My Authority just got, I know that one just got rephrased to make sense on what it actually did. So until the end of the turn, one synchro monster you control whose original name includes Yugioh will gain 500 attack for each monster you control that you're not the original owner of, and it's only once per turn. The skill's still pretty bad, so doesn't really need don't even worry about that skill. And since I have you here right now, let's just open up some packs before we get out of here, you know? Right now, what I've been doing is I've been working on my... I shot another episode of my podcast, which I still have to upload. It's a really long one this time, which is cool. So I have to play it like a lot. This time I'm going to be like doing like Yu-Gi-Oh footage instead of Call of Duty. I just did Call of Duty because it's like super easy for me to do. Oh man, I have like so many of these things. What a waste. But yeah, like that's what's going on right now. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. My overall thoughts on the nerfs coming up will be that, and you're gonna still see Invoked. They're gonna find a way to play around those nerfs that they got. Black Wings really didn't lose anything at all, so I wouldn't say like count Black Wings out at all. They're still gonna mop the floor with you with the right hand. There needs to be a couple more nerfs with Black Wings for them to be kind of in line. I mean, I would say like maybe hitting, like I don't want to say it like to hit Black Whirlwind, but maybe Black Whirlwind needs a hit. But that's kind of wrong because it is an ultra rare card. It's pretty expensive, but they did hit a super rare more than once. So, you know, if they do hit Black Whirlwind, I would hopefully expect like a semi-refund. Kind of like how Hearthstone does when they change cards or, you know, do stuff. So that's it. I'll see you guys on the next video. Hopefully the podcast will be the next one. And deuces.